So you might have realized I took a small break and now you see me outside of my spaceship, and this is where I am right now. I would love to use the time to talk about a topic that might not be so popular, and I believe it doesn't get so many clicks maybe. But since this is my channel, I can do whatever I want, right? So this is what I'm doing. And now I'm talking about a topic, the music, software and hardware industry, the gear industry. Number one, I believe there's no real invention. Recently I tried a new software plugin of a famous software company, and I got 50% discount, and I thought, okay, let's go and try the demo, and I was really happy that they had a demo, so I tried it out, and I was really disappointed because turns out there wasn't really a new sound I could do with that kind of plugin, that kind of software. So I always ask myself, if I buy something new, am I able to make some kind of new sounds? But you know, I already talked about this in my gear acquisition syndrome video, so check this out as well. But however, the thing is, I believe these days it's more about your techniques, what you do and your habits if you really want to make a difference. And it's not just a new plugin or software that you can buy. Number two, the gear acquisition syndrome. I don't want to talk about this topic again, but just a quick summary of one of my latest videos. You have to ask yourself, do you really need this? Does it really help you to achieve some things? And the problem is that most of the software that's out there is targeted in a price range that most can achieve, right? A few bucks, a few $100, you can achieve this, but although it's, I think, quite expensive, but everything is relative, right? But the reality is, does it really help you to get somewhere where you really want to be? And instead you have to figure out this on your own. Keep in mind, they are software or hardware companies. Companies have to make profit, right? That's totally okay. You have to keep in mind that products have a product life cycle. So they have a start, a life and an end. And once they reach the end, the software or hardware companies need to reinvent the wheel or have to reinvent an update or upgrade or a new product. And it's you that needs to buy that one. So the companies are not really interested in, or let's say it's not their target that you make the next hit or make a nice career. Instead, they want you to regularly buy your products, obviously. Last but not least, I want to shortly talk about software subscriptions. However, not just what you think, because I think there are already many thoughts on this on the internet. So I think software subscriptions are the latest perversion of software industry, what can happen. Don't get me wrong, I'm a software guy, I work in an IT consulting company, and it totally makes sense that companies get regular income. But what I really see is that there are many products out there that are not really mature, right? Or I see many plugins, and especially if you're on the Mac side, that might not be 64-bit compatible, they don't have proper certificates, they're not compatible with the latest macOS version, and you get it, it's a mess. And just recently it happened to me. I was very interested in a very specific plugin, but turns out that the current version right now doesn't have a proper certificate, it doesn't show up in my DAW, and I tried this even on my Mac Pro and my laptop, and I'm just disappointed. Why should I buy such plugins from such company? Shame on you. Recently, a friend of mine, he came up with software subscription of plugins of a very famous and big music industry company. And he was very amazed. And to be honest, I'm also interested in 2 or 3 plugins of this company. If I buy the subscription and I pay regularly, right? The company gets regularly money from me to make the products better. In the end, I pay more than instead if I could buy the products. This is one of the few but very strong arguments for hardware, because there you get something, you buy something physically, and in most cases it keeps the value, right? And you can resell it. But with a software subscription, you might be able to use it, and if you do not bounce it or make stems out of it, and you do not pay it for the next upcoming years, you won't be able to open that project in a few years from now on, right? So I think for me this doesn't make sense as well from archive point of view. So in summary, I would love to say, don't get me wrong, those are just some thoughts I had while I took a few days off. I like software companies, I like hardware companies, I like the music gear industry as well, if they really invent some new things. But ask yourself, do you really need the latest stuff, and aren't you part of a bigger system where companies, of course, need you to make some money, but we want to focus on some proper music, right? So think about this twice. Cheers, bye-bye.